Segmentation, Targeting, and Positioning by Alison Bial. Tonight I'll be talking about the STP process, which is segmenting, targeting, and positioning. I will be mainly talking about step 3 and 4 in the targeting. Step 3 is evaluating segments, attractiveness, and step 4 is selecting target market. Let's talk about segmenting. Segmenting is dividing the market into distinctive groups with their needs and characteristics. Targeting is selecting which segments to serve. Positioning is identifying and develop positioning strategies. Targeting. So when we choose a target market or markets by evaluating each segment's attractiveness, and on the basis of this evaluation, then we choose which segment or segments to pursue. On the right, I have a diagram of segment attractiveness. In the segment attractiveness, we have identifiable, substantial, reachable, responsive, profit. To understand this evaluation, marketers first must determine whether the segment is worth pursuing using several of the descriptive criteria that I just read off. Okay, let's first start with the identifiable. Firms must be able to identify who is within their market to be able to design products or services to meet their needs. An example is Gap Kids, Baby Gap. The Gap identified that most of its core customers have families. So on the right side, I have logos of Gap Kids, and on the right side, and on below it, I have Baby Gap. So this is one of the firms that would identify who they want to market. Next, we have the substantial. Once the firm has identified its potential target market, it needs to measure their size. If a market is too small or its buying power insignificant, it won't generate sufficient profits or be able to support the marketing mix activities. So basically, it must be profitable enough to serve. Next is reachable. The best product or service cannot have an impact, no matter how identifiable or substantial the target market is, if that market cannot be reached through persuasive communication and product distribution. So consumers in the segment must be able to receive your marketing messages to know the product or service exists, understand what it can do for them, and recognize how to buy it. So here's an example from the book. Victoria's Secret fails to tell women that it is offering some less luxurious, more affordable options. Shoppers will just walk right past the store and buy basic bra from Macy's stores in the same mall. That's an example. So you need to reach out to your customers with the persuasive communication and product distribution. Next is responsive. For a segmentation strategy to be successful, the customer in the segment must react similarly and positively to the firm's offering. If, through the firm's distinctive competencies, it cannot provide products or services to that segment, it should not target it. For instance, when GM introduced a line of cars to the large luxury car segment, GM took a big risk in pursuing the market, but was successful in competing for the middle price family car segment. Next, we have profitable. Marketers must also focus their assessments on the potential profitability of each segment, both current and future. Key factors to keep in mind in this analysis include market growth, current size and expected growth rate, market competitiveness, number of competitors, entry barrier, product substitutes, and market access. Some straightforward calculation can help illustrate the profitability of a segment. Segment profitability equals segment size times segment adoption percentage times purchase behavior times profit margin percentage minus fixed costs. So segment size will equal the number of people in the segment. Segment adoption percentage equals percentage of customers in the segment who are likely to adopt the product divide service. Or purchase behavior equals purchase price times number of times the customer would buy the product/service in a year. Profit margin percentage, selling price minus variable costs. Divide that by selling price. Fixed costs equals the advertising expenditures, rent, utilities, insurance, and administrative salaries for managers. So that would be the setup on what the meaning of each of the segment size and what you got to multiply and subtract by to get segment profitability. Now that we've evaluated each segment's attractiveness in step 3, we can select the target markets to pursue in step 4. So selecting target markets. After evaluating different segments, the company must decide which and how many segments it will target. So determining how to select target market is not always straightforward. There are several targeting strategies we have to select to move along the STP process. So the first one is undifferentiated targeting strategy or mass marketing. Next one is differentiated targeting strategy. Next is the concentrated targeting strategy. And last is the micro-marketing or one-on-one marketing. So let's start off with the undifferentiated targeting, which is a marketing strategy a firm can use if the product or service is perceived to provide the same benefits to everyone, with no need to develop separate strategies for different groups. If the product or service is perceived to provide similar benefits to most customers, there simply is little need to develop separate strategies of different groups. So when a firm produces only one product or product line and promotes it to all customers with a single marketing mix, that would be undifferentiated target marketing. Next would be differentiated targeting market strategy, which is a strategy through which a firm targets several market segments with a different offering for each. So let's say with firms embrace differential targeting, because it helps them obtain a bigger share of the market and increase the market for their product overall. Let's say readers of Golf Digest probably are unlikely readers of Architectural Digest in their interests, as well as their demographic, such as gender, age, and income. Providing products or service that appeal to multiple segments helps diversity the business and therefore lowers the company's overall risk. So differentiated marketing is when a firm produces numerous products and promotes them with a different marketing mix designed to satisfy smaller segments. Next would be the concentrated targeting strategy. When an organization selects a single primary target market and focuses all its energy on providing a product to fit that market's needs, is using the concentrated targeting strategy. Also, when a firm commits all of its marketing resource to serve a single market segment is also concentrated targeting strategy. Then the last one is micro marketing, and that's when a firm tailors a product or service to suit an individual customer's needs. It is undertaking an extreme form of segmentation called micro-marketing or one-on-one, one-to-one marketing. And so in here it talks about how the internet is used to simplify customers' identification. And cookies or small text files a website stores in a visitor's browsers provide a unique identification of each potential customers who visit and details how the customer has searched the site. So marketers also can ask visitors to fill out an online registration form. Using such information, the company can make a variety of recommendations to the customers. So this would involve targeting potential customers at a very basic level, such as using the internet, their zip code, specific occupation, their lifestyle, or individual household. And that would be micro marketing for that. That would actually conclude my presentation for step 3 and step 4 tonight. Thank you very much and have a good night.